Arlette. I am Executive Director of Try This West Virginia. I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary of being with Try This, so I'm super excited to be going into this second year and getting to share this awesome event with you all. And I'm going to pass it over to Kate Long, our awesome media coordinator, who is going to be our host for the day. So if you have any tech questions or anything, you have a question on Facebook, type it in. I'll be passing that information along. And go ahead and take it away, Kate.
Welcome, everybody. We have a great panel for you today. You're probably going to get more tips and inspiration and resources than you can handle. So get yourself a pencil and paper and get ready. Okay, our first presenter is going to be Lacey Davidson.
Hey, everyone.
Lacey's a registered dietitian. She is also works for the Department of Agriculture statewide to help you with your small business planning. And she not only talks about it, she does it, because she also coordinates the Grow Appalachia group in Wayne County. And as part of that, they started a small business, the 12 Pole Trading Company. So you'll get to hear about that. And then we have Sierra Cox.
Hey, everybody.
And Sierra is a regional food shed coordinator for West Virginia Food and Farm Coalition. I first heard about Sierra when I read that she and her husband had bought a farm, the Wonder Valley Farm in Roane County, and that they're going to turn it into an agribusiness with honey and so forth. So we'll get to hear about that. And then we have B. Sias. Oh, B, you're muted. So need to unmute a little bit, but B. Sias is from Logan County. She is the most loved coordinator of Grow Appalachia in Logan County. And she doesn't limit herself to just working with gardeners, even though her main job is to help people learn to garden. She also works with Fresh Start, the recovery program, and the senior center, and some children's programs. So B has many hats also, as all the people here do. And our fourth presenter is Dina Hornbacher.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, so I
And Dina is the farm manager for New Roots Community Farm in Fayette County, which is part of one of the partners in the Turnrow Agriculture Collective that makes it possible for organizations like the community farm to get their produce to market over a wide region. So we're going to hear how that operates too. So enough from me. And Lacey, if you're ready, take it away. Lacey Davidson.
All right. Can you guys hear me okay? Good. Well, thanks again, Kate and Brittany, for inviting us to do this. This is super exciting, and I'm honored to be on this panel with all of these awesome women in agriculture. But again, my name's Lacey, and I work for your state Department of Agriculture, so the West Virginia Department of Ag. And we work very closely with the USDA, or the United States Department of Agriculture. So there's a lot of overlap in terms of programs that we help coordinate, and also just kind of recruiting people into or making people aware of the federal programs that are available to them. So within our state department, we have several different divisions, but the one that I work out of is business development. So I don't do anything with regulatory. I don't show up to farmers markets and farms and tell people they're not allowed to do X, Y, Z, or they need a permit to do that. But I do help get people ready for those necessities. So if they had decided they want to start a freezer beef business, I'm here to help folks make sure they have the right permits to do that. Or they wanted to sell a jam or a jelly or a baked good or a pickled product at a farmer's market. Myself and the 3 other business development planning coordinators are here to help folks make sure they have the right permits in order to do that. and help to navigate some of this red tape, if you will, that exists in trying to get your business up and started, your ag business, or your current ag business maybe expanded on. So in the business development division, my role is called planning coordinator or resource coordinator, and I personally cover a 10-county region. So I mentioned there are 4 of us, and we're all across the state. We don't cover every county perfectly, but we lean on folks like Sierra, who you'll be hearing from, that cover some of the counties that we don't, and also just try to tag team those areas based on what questions are coming up or what the need is. So my 10-county region, just so you guys are aware, if you want to reach out, goes from Mason County on the western side of the state all the way down to McDowell, and just kind of the 10 counties that touch there. So Logan, where B is from, is one of my counties, along with Lincoln, Boone County, Wayne County, where I live and farm, and to name a few. I specifically am targeting and helping folks with their food and farm business. So some of the just to give you some perspective, some of the ways that we might help people are, folks call often and they don't really know where to start. They know they have some land, and they know they want to get into farming. They might have some ideas of, well, I want to graze cattle, or I want to grow corn, or I want to do a market garden, but they're not really sure about next steps. So we'll work with those folks and help get them connected with, maybe they need a business license to get started. And that can be kind of daunting. So we'll connect them with the resources that they need to file for and accept and get and utilize their business license. Or maybe they need some funding. Maybe they're a business, and the way they're set up, they could apply for some grant funding. Or maybe they're in a position where some low-cost loans specific to agriculture might be a need for them. And so, again, we're here to help them make sure they know the different resources that are available, and they've got all of the different options that they can research and apply. Within our division specifically, we have a lot of different programs. One that you guys maybe have heard of or seen is called the West Virginia Grown Program. It's a statewide marketing program. A lot of people recognize it by the little sticker that you'll see on products, or the shirt that I'm not wearing today, but it's a really beautiful picture of the state of West Virginia, and it says West Virginia Grown. And with that, we do a printed directory each year. We have an online directory in our market bulletin, which has been in print for I don't even know how many years. All of those farms that enroll in our program are printed there and get sent out every single month. If our commissioner sits down with a Kroger, say, he can slide that directory in front of Kroger and say, here's our farms and farm businesses in West Virginia. You should consider picking up some of them. So West Virginia Grown is awesome. We also facilitate the Specialty Crop Block Grant, which is a grant program that farmers and businesses are eligible for to help promote specialty crops like growing tomatoes or mushrooms or all sorts of different produce products in West Virginia. And we have some really great applicants every single year who come up with some amazing ideas for this program. We also facilitate farm to school programs. So a lot of producers will call and say, how do I get involved with my local school system? I want to get my cherry tomatoes on the salad bar at the elementary. We have a person in our division that's solely responsible for helping coordinate those efforts. So that's really cool. We do labeling review for the FDA within our division. So we help ensure that if producers have a product that they want to get to market and they want to get on shelves, that everything that's listed on their label is compliant with federal mandates. So we'll hold your hand through that process, which I think is really cool. One of the new things that we started doing out of a need that we saw during COVID is our Homesteading Series. And maybe Kate and Brittany, we can send out a flyer for that after this. But our Homesteading Series is an educational video series that is shot by producers, and we interview producers, and it's for producers. So it's really cool to get the perspective of someone else who's in the trenches, who's doing the thing that you're interested in doing. We have a year's worth of videos now on our YouTube channel, and they cover everything from mushroom production to flower growing for, at a commercial scale. You name it. We've covered a lot of ground and met some really awesome producers. So that's a great resource. We also facilitate a senior farmers market voucher program. We have a new person that we've recently hired. I guess she's been with us a year now, solely dedicated to agritourism. So if you have a pumpkin patch or a corn maze or an apple orchard and you're interested in finding ways to bring people to your farm, we've got someone that's dedicated just to do those things. Another really awesome program just in our division is our Veterans and Heroes to Agriculture program. Tons and tons of resources for our vets and heroes out there. So definitely, if you reach out and we'll get you connected. Last little things that are coming up for me. We run a country store at the state fair in West Virginia every year, where we invite all producers who have a product, generally shelf-stable products like honey, maple syrup, soaps and lotions, to display their products in our country store and sell them to folks who are coming to visit the state fair. We do a similar store set up at the Winter Blues Market in Charleston during the Small Farms Conference. So tons of resources. If you didn't get to jot all of those down, feel free to reach out to me at any time. I love talking about this stuff. I love helping people with their ag businesses or thinking about their ag businesses, scaling up or starting up. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions about what I mentioned or beyond.
And if you want to say a word or so about Grow Appalachia and 12 Pole, that'd be great.
Yeah, so how I even got into this world of working in agriculture, especially at the WVDA, is my husband and I run a farm called Elm Crest Farm here in Wayne County, where we've been farming on a family farm here for the last, I think, 7 years. The last 5 we've taken more seriously and, started actually actively pursuing customers and getting our ducks in a row. So along with that, we have a nonprofit called Access West Virginia. And we, for the last 3 years, have been a partner site for the Grow Appalachia program, which you'll hear more about when Bea gets a chance to speak. But it's an awesome program through Berea College, where we have this year, I would say 35 families and community gardens enrolled in both Wayne and Cabell counties who are actively growing and gardening. And many of them are selling. So a big part of our Grow Appalachia program is our market garden farmers market. And so that has grown into a brick and mortar space called the 12 Pole Trading Post, which is now a year-round market, indoor and outdoor, and CSA for our local producers, both Grow Appalachia and beyond. So it's been a lot of fun in learning all of these things, and I think that's made me stronger at my day job, because I have had to figure a lot of this out the hard way. So yeah, if anyone's interested in learning more about startup, especially in terms of a farmer's market or an artisan market or a brick and mortar location, I'm happy to talk about those things.
Okay. Well, I want to go over and see the 12 Pole market. It's something that, we could do this in any community, because you don't keep it open 7 days a week. You couldn't.
Mm-mm.
What do you have, 2 days a week?
Yeah, Friday and Saturday, or by appointment. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and all of these things, as people are telling about the different things that they're offering you here, think, well, how could I do that here? How could I do that in my community? And one program that I think the Department of Ag, unless I missed it, I don't know if you mentioned it, but is Agritourism.
Yeah.
And our next speaker, if she hasn't tapped into the Department of Ag already on this, certainly could. Sierra Cox is the food shed coordinator for West Virginia Food and Farm Coalition, and also the operator of a budding and building agritourism business. So we'll all have a chance to come back and throw in more information later on, but let's start now. Just pass it over to Sierra right now and hear about West Virginia Food and Farm and Wonder Valley Farm.
Hi, everybody. And to echo Lacey, thanks so much for having me. We are definitely, we're very much the budding farm, still learning, still trying to get our feet on the ground, but I really appreciate it. And we're certainly trying. I'm gonna try to share this. Let me see I hope I don't break the internet. Let's see. Did that work? Is everybody?
Yeah.
Man, I did it. Look at that. You'd think with all these that we've done that you'd get it, but I'm still always shocked. But I just figured I'd kind of walk through the website a little bit, because that'll kind of guide me talking about kind of the different programs that Food and Farm has, and also kind of pictures are always nice to look at, and the pig, look at how cute that pig is. So anyway, so I am what we call a food shed coordinator, which is just a fancy name for a resource connector for the community. So under programs, I'll actually kind of go pull that up. So we are funded through an ARC grant with, our main purpose is to, be kind of the boots on the ground, as Lacey is, with Department of Ag, to help both farmers and food businesses, and also work within the community to build community-based projects. So my particular area is Roane County and Ritchie. And then you can kind of see all the white areas of the state that aren't colored are actually pretty much covered by the WVDA program coordinators. Is that what you're called, Lacey? That work? Okay, that works. So pretty much the entire state has somebody in your region that is there to help you. So I think, and if there is one or two counties that isn't, there's somebody there that's going to help you. So I highly recommend utilizing, those people that are on the ground. And, on the website, if you do happen to live in one of our areas, you can click on our name, and that will bring up our email and contact information for you to get in touch with us. So, and we each, as all of working within West Virginia, each area is so unique and different. There are different projects going on within each of those particular regions. So just to talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on in mine, cold storage has been a big one, working with the Calhoun County FRN, actually getting them cold storage for a lot of their food access programs and aggregation area. And then another big one that I think we're working on pretty much in every area is kitchens. So getting some commercial and manufacturing kitchens within those regions so that farmers have access to those to, both upscale to their value added products, and also have the certification level to, get their products on the shelves, not only within the state, but out of the state. So those are some things that we're trying to get down the pike there. And I've got a pilot kitchen right now that I'm working on in Grantsville, and I believe there's one in Princeton as well, is the ones we're working at. So those are kind of the overlay for the food shed development. I do want to touch on the Rural Grocer Network, because I think it's really cool. So we saw with the pandemic, we saw a big influx of people wanting to utilize locally grown produce. You're able to know where it's grown, who's picked it, and that value chain is just so much shorter than what we were seeing. Plus, we had the scare when you went to Walmart, there was no toilet paper, and so and other things as well. But so a lot of people turn to their local farmers, which is awesome, and they've continued to do so, which is awesome. So we've seen a lot of a big need for support of these local mom and pop grocers throughout the state. And so we're working on developing this network which provides technical assistance, peer support, and then equipment access, which is a big one. So if you have someone that's interested in doing becoming a rural grocer, which for me, I have one in Arnoldsburg, the outdoor store, which is, went in to be kind of they're an outdoor hunting type store, but they saw the need in the community and, have work with local farmers to get produce in their store, which I think is just fantastic. We'll help set them up. We'll help walk you through, getting your FNS number, getting you set up with SnapStretch, that sort of thing. And then also, being an outdoor equipment store, they didn't really have a lot of cold store and refrigeration. So if you go through, our technical assistance, you can then apply for the Revolving Equipment Fund, which will allow us to pretty much purchase this cold storage equipment for you. And then you pay it back at, no interest. And then once you pay it off, it's yours, which is really cool. So we're really interested. If you have anybody, we're actively recruiting people. So we would love to get more people involved in that program. Policy advocacy is another one that we're really passionate about. We're part of the Food for All Coalition. I don't do a lot of work with that, so please, I won't be able to answer too many questions on that particular thing, but it is something that, our organization works very closely with. And so passing policy that is in favor of, food access for all and for helping farmers and local food businesses is something that we're very passionate about, something that we work on as an organization. There's a little bit about Food for All that will, so that's a little bit more about Food for All as well. It's always fun. That's how I got first involved with the Food and Farm Coalition, was lobbying for the Agritourism bill. So it's a lot of fun. Placemaking is another really cool one that we're thankfully getting able to do again. So the farm to table dinners. Also, we work with West Virginia Cooks, which is a collective of West Virginia, chefs around the state that are doing these events and aggregating from local producers, which is awesome. Craft beverage is another thing that we're kind of working on with partnership kind of with RCBI and others to help kind of bolster our local beverage makers, which is a really cool thing. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Oh wow, that would be a miss if I didn't click on SnapStretch. This is also an awesome program. I'm sure a lot of you either already participate or have markets in your area that participate. But it's a great where you can stretch your SNAP dollars, and this site is very user friendly as far as how to get involved, how to do you can do your reimbursements right here on the site, which is really cool. Go through how it works. So they've done a really good job about getting that information out there. You probably see the flyers. They've made really pretty flyers too. I think they're really great. I'm not a technical person, but I think they've done a really awesome job. Oh, you don't care about my emails. And then I do want to share this one as well. Maybe I want to share this one. Farm Fresh WV is a really cool website as well. So it's where farms, markets, eateries, drinkeries, and then ag adventures, which is really cool. Someday I'll be there. Where you get to put in your information, and if somebody's doing a vacation to West Virginia and they're like, I'd really like to visit a farm, you can just click on here and let's see. Say you're going to look at all those little cute things. Type in where you're going. And it'll pull up all the great farms that would be close to where you're going. So, let me see. And then from there, you get a little bit of information about what the farm is, their contact information, their hours. It's when they're open. So it's a really cool resource for people. I definitely recommend all my farmers to get on there, just as another way for people to find you. So let's see. I think, there's a lot more out there. Obviously, I don't want to, take up too much time, but I think the website's become, I think, a lot more user friendly. There is one program that's missing, that's down for work right now. We do have a land access program that is pretty much it's like a matching site for farmers and landowners that, you pretty much fill out a profile sheet of what your dream farm situation would be, and we try to match you with land somewhere, a farm that's available, either by lease, sharing, for sale, that sort of thing. So we're working on getting that kind of revamped so that we can help, because that's one of the big issues is getting farmers on land. So we're working to try to build that back up and help make those connections. So I think that's good. We can dive deeper with questions.
Okay, and Sierra, would you tell us just a couple of minutes about trying to build up an agritourism business? You've got a farm and it's working. I'm gonna put you on the spot here a little bit, but love to hear about it.
Yeah, of course. So first of all, zero background in farming at all. I have a military background, so I have no experience whatsoever. And so we jumped in both feet, just let's do this. And it's hard. First of all, farming is hard. Second of all, trying to get people, trying to do something on your farm that people are interested in enough to drive out in the middle of the boonies to do is also difficult. So we've been doing a lot of learning, a lot of one thing about this position that's been really great is being able to go to other people's farms and see, how they're doing things. I've just been a sponge, learning as much as I can about, just all aspects of farm life. And not only that, but, running your own business. It's a lot. Anytime somebody comes to me and has that overwhelmed look on their face, I'm like, I totally get it. But there are resources out there. Like Lacey mentioned, there's, the agritourism rep with WVDA. There's also a agritourism group through the WVU as well. We've done some classes through them that have been very helpful. And like I said, there is a bill that has passed that has made it much more easier for farmers to have an agritourism business, as far as the limited liability around doing something like that. So the state has definitely made big strides in trying to make that more of a possibility for farmers. So I definitely encourage people to do it, and to definitely go to farms that are actively doing it now, so that you can kind of see how it works, and just be patient. That's be patient. It takes a while to get things running.
I'm looking forward.
Real quick on Sierra. Don't forget the potties. People need a place to potty.
Yes. Oh my word.
I'm looking forward to coming out there and seeing it sometime. I mean, it's just captured my imagination. West Virginia Food and Farm is doing a great job on so many fronts, but I just want to give them a plus on they pretty much saved Snapstretch this last year. And I'm very impressed with what's going on over there, and with the people like Sierra who work there. So our next person is going to be B. Sias. And if you live in Logan County, you know who B is. And B coordinates the Grow Appalachia program down in Logan County. And it is hands down the most populated Grow Appalachia of the 5 programs in West Virginia. And part of that has to do with B. She's been doing it for 10 years, and she can just put something on her Facebook and say, hey, we're signing up people for Grow Appalachia right now. And then they come to the library to sign up. So B, you need to, will you unmute yourself here? And I'm about to put you on the air. Tell me when you got yourself unmuted. You just have to push that little microphone thing. B has a new computer, and so it's playing tricks with her.
That's always a challenge.
I'll also say that B's getting all sorts of love on the Facebook. So
That's right. I mean, B has fans all over the place. B, when you get unmuted, holler at me. But I'm going to go ahead and start telling you a little bit about Grow Appalachia. And then B will pick up from where we're at. Grow Appalachia. If you want to teach people to grow food in your area, this is a great program. 5 areas of West Virginia have already signed up for this, and some of them have been doing it for 10 years, Lincoln County and Logan County. We've got one in Pocahontas County and one in the Northern Panhandle and one in Wayne County that Lacey is in charge of. It's run out of Berea College. And it's better to hear B tell about it than me, but I'll get you started. People who sign up for this workshop, it's free. You get 6 workshops: growing without pesticides, companion planting, crop rotation, cooking, canning. Usually everybody gets a garden tool. People who attend submit a soil sample, and then you get people who come and support you in your gardening. And there are 5 Grow Appalachia sites, as I mentioned. And B was telling me when I was talking with her before we started.
Okay, Kate.
There you go, just in time to tell about that little girl.
Oh, now mine is not as exciting as your all's. But we have a good time. Now this picture right here, this little girl, her dad was he had some problems, and I knew his grandmother real well, and I said, why don't you plant a garden? And he started, and she started helping him. And they had a beautiful garden right there in the yard. And you can see the corn. And every year now, they have a garden. And I have several people like that has their gardens in the yard, around the fence, around the in buckets. This is just one of the little neighborhoods around there. Probably I don't know where that's from, but probably some of my gardeners live through here. And we have really gone overboard. Last year we had 449,000 picks. That is Logan. Marcel has mostly Lincoln County. I had Wyoming County and Mingo County, and then just most of them were in Logan County. But if you want people to garden and to raise food, Logan County is the place. I want to show one thing here. Can you all see this? Can you see this, Kate? You probably can. Well, anyway, this is one gardener this is his first year with me. That man has really had a garden and a half. Now, he's not the only one. I've got about 5 or 6 that have super, super gardens. And these people will not, as I have told you before, will not sell to you, but they will give to you. And we had a new business that came into our area where I used to live. And I went up and talked to the man and I said, you're going to North Carolina and Florida and all this and getting the produce. I said, let my gardener sell it to you. He said, tell them, bring me anything they got, I'll buy it. But they won't do it. They won't sell it. But the people there, I can't, I have so many people that want to garden that I don't have room for. Now, this is Buck right here. Buck's my main man. And then Robin, you all know Robin. We might have been, I don't know what he was doing, but me and Robin was laughing at him. But the people love Buck too. See it, the plant. Now, this is how we have to do ours. We have a storage building in Logan. And when we come to Man to give out plants and things, Buck has to go to the storage shed, load it all up in his truck, bring it to Man, and we give out things there. And then when we go back to Logan, we load it all up and take it back to Logan and do that. And then when this is some of my gardeners. This one here has been, she and her husband have been with me from the beginning. And I don't know, they're just super people. But now they work. These people really work. And I more or less sit down, you know, but now I do give out things and help Buck. And they love me and Buck. I don't know why, but they do. Now, this is the way I keep down what, you know, like if they tell me they want 6 banana pepper plants, I keep that down on this. And then when they come to get it, I mark it off. And here is some that are doing sweet potato plants. And they grow a lot of sweet potatoes. And I've had one gardener who has dug over 200 pecks of potatoes. And he shares them with everybody. This is the one Kate likes. That's a new gardener. And they like to talk with us and everything. And this she's telling me how big her plant is right here. and they do work, you know, they work hard, and they have a lot of vegetables, and they can. Oh my gosh, you people would not believe what these people can. And this one here, I have her and another one. They are volunteers at Logan General. And when we give out supplies, I have to take these supplies to Logan General and they come out and get them. We deliver a lot too. Now, this was one of the gardens that they tried to, you know, I think this might have been Buck's, where he strung up things for his beans and the things like that. And Buck had about 17 cabbage heads this year that he gave to a woman, and she made 39 quarts of kraut out of them. And this is one of my gardeners. See how that we get this netting for them, try to keep out the deers, but you all know how that goes. And the corn, the beans, the peas, everything. It's super. Now, I think this is Buck. He is tilling for a lady, and I'm going to tell a little story there. This little lady had a stroke, and she called me and said, I don't know if this is a weed or a plant. And I said, okay, me and Buck will be up there. We went up there, and it was a weed. And Buck, he finished tilling for her and hoed the rest of her garden. But these people, the best people in the world, they really are. And they'll do anything in the world for you. I just wish that we had more accommodations for, just like when we were having our canning workshops. one of the churches let us use his kitchen, and we had canning workshops there. Then a lot of people came. And that's the thing now with the people, they don't have enough of the workshops for canning. And then this is one that peas, I believe is what this one is. And they have, this is the one at the Fresh Start Day Report. This is just getting started. This was this year, they had about 25 cabbage plants in here. And it was super. I mean, and this is Fresh Start's greenhouse too. And they have a lot of chickens. And they, this was their peas. And they give this peas, like eggs and all that, into food pantry for God's little lambs. And it goes to church. They have a big, this is Fresh Start giving out food baskets, food boxes rather. They do that every other week. And they give most of it from the garden, you know, for the people. Now, this one here is the senior citizen home in Chapmansville. This little lady, she wanted to can beans, and they only had one raised bed each. They had 7. She had her beans planted in a 5-gallon bucket. You see the little patio thing that they have? She had it sitting on her porch, and she canned 23 pints of beans out of that one bucket. And that helps them a lot in the winter, you know, because their income's low too. And this is this is the little girl that we showed first with all the cabbage and things. Her dad got a piece of land out by the house, and they had all this cabbage, and he shared it. And they make kraut. They freeze the cabbage. And I don't know if you all have ever known or not, but you can freeze potatoes. Has anyone heard of freezing potatoes?
I never did, B.
Okay,
Well,
can I tell you how? Just a minute.
Go for it.
Okay, you take the potatoes and you wash them and you peel them. And then you blanch them for about 3 minutes. You bring them out, you let them get cool, you rinse them and you cool them and towel dry them, and then put them in a freezer bag. And this man told me that his wife makes mashed potatoes, potato salad, and everything out of it.
Now, wouldn't you all like to have B to come to your house and help you garden?
Oh, I love it. I really do.
Y'all can see why she's so popular.
Kate, can I tell about the lady and her husband lost all the food?
Go for it.
Okay, this lady, and I worked in this area too. One Friday evening, it was scalding hot, not a cloud in the sky. She went to the store and she spent $400. This was on meat, food, and everything. She came home, put all this up. They went to a ball game, and this area flooded. She lost everything they had bought at the store that week because no electricity for a week. And she said, I am going to can. I'll not go through this again. So at one of the canning workshops, she was getting all these recipes. And I said, what are you going to do with all those? She said, B, and she told me the story. Let me tell you, that woman cans pickled onions, and they're delicious. They really are. And you name it, and she cans it. And she makes tomato juice, you know, a lot of that, salsa, green beans. She makes an Italian slaw and cans it. But these people, they can a lot. And the main reason I think a lot of them can, they were mostly coal miners. And you did not know back then when a strike was coming or it was coming. so they were prepared.
And,
now-
and
Go ahead.
I was going to say, and now we don't know when a pandemic is coming.
That's it. And you know that I have people that are gardening that don't know not an iota about a plant. But they got them some raised beds, and me and Buck helped them. And they call me in every now and then. I got 3 banana peppers. They're so happy. And
Okay.
we have a good time. No, but mine isn't as exciting as yours, but we have a good time.
Yours is wonderful, and we could keep talking with you all afternoon. I'm sure, if everybody is sort of thinking the same way I am, I'm thinking how all these pieces fit together. The programs that the state level people offer, the things that are offered in the regions through West Virginia Food and Farm and Extension and so forth. And then the essential thing, having somebody like Bea on the local level, who's out there just talking to people, being kind to people, getting their stories, just taking the time that it takes to get people excited and have them feel supported. And you are wonderful, Bea.
Okay, let me tell you just this little story how I got started. I didn't know what I was doing. They said, do you want to go to Hearts and help them in the garden? I said, no, I don't. So, but anyway, I went. And when I started this, I had no idea what I was doing. But I got on the radio. I knew the guy, the general manager. I got on the radio. I told him what I was doing. He talked to me for 30 minutes. I put up signs at the post office. If you want a garden, call Bea. Everybody knew Bea Sice. And now when it comes time for the applications, he says, Bea Sice, isn't it about time for you to call in? And I call him and tell him when I'm going to sign them up. And he said this was the best project that Logan County ever had. And it's not me, it's the people.
It is the people. They are so enthusiastic, and you have so many.
You've been around them, Kay.
I have. Well, we're going to hear some more from you a little bit later, Bea, when people have questions. I bet people are going to have some questions for you. We're probably folks going to go to about 2:15 or 2:20 or so, just so you'll have an opportunity to ask these folks questions. We have a 4th presenter now that we'll just move on to. This is Dina Hornbacher from the New Roots Community Farm. And Dina will tell you about New Roots Community Farm, but it used to be, before we had all these possibilities for regional and statewide reach, that a person could start a farm and they'd have they'd raise a bunch of good stuff and have a heck of a time getting it to market. Yeah. Well, the Turnrow Agricultural Collective has been a real game changer in that. And so Dina, take it away here.
Thanks, Kate. And thanks everybody again for welcoming me to this event. And it's been really amazing to be part of it. So I'd like to share my screen here. I'm gonna take you. Can everybody see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this is New Roots Community Farm. This is our website. You can just type in newrootscommunityfarm.com. I'm the regional sales manager for the farm. Currently, we are in a fundraising campaign to purchase the 82-acre farm with support with the Agrarian Trust and to keep it into a commons sense. To protect the land from being developed or commercialized, and to keep our farming systems sustained. Currently, in this photo right here, we are farming 6 acres right here of the 82 acres in vegetable production. This past year, we've developed and we planted over 200 trees. Some of those are included like fruit trees, but the majority are in this pasture for a windbreak. So we should call this Windy Farms because it's really, really windy, but it's a beautiful place. But I just want to take you a little bit about the farm and what we do. And our philosophy currently right now, it's Thursday and we have an open market right now from 1 to 6 p.m. So there's someone in the front of this room that's slinging some vegetables here. But our philosophy is that we aim to expand access to these markets for both producers and consumers. And we want to build the sustained bridge between farmers and farmland. And so we want to utilize and push and create more opportunity to have access to local fresh foods for people who need it the most. I'm going to go back up to who we are and how we got here. And this kind of tells the story of the land. In 2016 to 2017, the Farmland Protection Board stepped in and acquired the old Whitlock farm from protecting it from being developed. And after that, in 2018, 2019, the Fayette County Farmland Protection Board and the Fayette County Urban Renewal Authority helped support with the Resource Coordinator's Office to seek some federal and state grant funding to get the project rolling. And they hired a farm manager, Susanna Wheeler, and she started laying the groundwork for the project, building infrastructure and kind of cleaning up the property. Dilapidated old buildings were demolished. And in 2019, they started the first apprentice program, teaching folks about vegetable production. And in the fall, they worked with Sprouting Farms to host the first Food Access AmeriCorps member program here in Fayetteville. And it just continued to blossom and grow. And 2020 was the first year of production with the help of our incredible team and volunteers. And we ended up growing with 2 apprentices and a production crew lead manager. We grew over 40,000 pounds of food that year, which was a really amazing opportunity. We partner with Turnrow, which I'll talk in just a second, but we also donate to the local Mountaineer Food Bank here. And then we also have a community garden area where 20 plots can be purchased for the year to grow your own food here. 2021 is an incredible year. We have expanded in our folks here, our employees. We now have 6 total. We built 2 more high tunnels and expanded our field production and just increased the capacity of our permanent beds and are strategizing ways to create better sales of food system so that everybody can have access to this fresh and healthy food. So we are, our mission is this community vision of creating a diversified, sustainable food production, a shared ecological stewardship, and an agrarian community vitality for next generation and farmers and ranchers. So here it'll take you, this link will take you to the Agrarian Trust fundraising campaign that we're currently in. But a little bit about our team. This is Susanna Wheeler, the lead, the power, farm director. Myself, sales manager. Sky is our community food system coordinator. We have Aaron, our production team leader, Kate, crew apprentice, Emily, crew apprentice, and Flannery, crew apprentice. We have an amazing, strong group of women, which has been so amazing to work with. But here at the farm, we are trying to build an equitable food system. So we integrate production, processing, distribution, and consumption. So we're building this network, an agricultural system for the New River Gorge region. And so we have these market days on Thursday, but we also want to focus on our market access, which is Turnrow. So let me go. Turnrow Appalachian Farm Collective is an online marketplace, and this has been quite an expansive opportunity for farmers and producers to have another market to sell their products. It's really interesting here. You can purchase food online from all over the state of West Virginia, retail, and then receive it in certain locations. So right now, go back up by now. Here we go. So this is the online farmers market for the retail, and there's pickup locations in Charleston, Lewisburg, Fayetteville, Dunbar, Talcott, Greenville, and Huntington. So it's pretty incredible that you can purchase locally grown food online from farmers across the state, and then they are aggregated, distributed to all of these different locations. I work with wholesale buyers, so I not only work with specialty wholesale here in the New River Gorge region, but I also work with the school system in Fayette County Schools. There are 8 schools that are currently purchasing 75% of their products are local, which is pretty amazing. And these are the producers that that we work with. So I'm sure a lot of them are familiar to you, but again, check out the website newrootscommunityfarm.com as well as turnrowfarms.com. And if there's any questions, I would love to answer any questions. Let me see.
I have a question.
Yes.
Once New Roots Farm is paid off, who will own it?
That's a great question. The West Virginia Agrarian Commons will own it. New Roots Community Farm is currently in the process of a lot of new transitions, but the Agrarian Trust will be the landholder, and then we are creating the West Virginia Commons Board as well as New Roots Community Farm Board. But it's a 99-year lease.
Is that, I assume one of the aims, I mean, I know that it's already making fresh food available all over the county. I've been there for a pickup, and it's amazing to me that I can order online and come to Fayetteville and pick up something from Fayetteville, something from several other counties. There it is.
It's pretty incredible that, you have access worldwide on the internet to purchase products from all over the state, and not only just vegetables. There are also meat products. There are also like value-added products, and so the diversity in what these markets are hosting that Turner is providing is a really good opportunity for producers and farmers to access those new marketplaces.
Well, you've seen in an hour, all of you, a pretty dizzying array of opportunities in West Virginia. And I can tell you that most of these opportunities were not here even 6 years ago. It's amazing what's happening in West Virginia now, and a lot of times we just don't know what's going on. And that's one reason why Try This does these online programs. So you've heard, each one of these people could have talked for an entire hour and given you a lot of good information. And we just want you to be able to take what they did give and follow up with them if you need to. But for now, let's take about 15 minutes and have some discussion and some questions. Maybe somebody else on the call has something they would like to add, or a question for one of the panelists. So floor's open, folks. Don't be shy.
I have a question for Dina. Turnrow, so can you make like a one-time purchase, or do you have to pick up like weekly or monthly, or how does that work?
Yeah, Tina, that's a great question. You can sign up for free online on their website, and you can purchase one time, or you can do it consistently, weekly, monthly, whatever floats your boat, whatever is easiest for you. You just have to make sure that you click the correct location for pickup, because a lot of customers end up choosing a different location, which then all the food is aggregated and distributed to that location. So just whenever you're signing up, just make sure you put in your location. But yeah, it's super simple, super easy. Marketplace is open retail, I believe, on Wednesday through Saturday. So it opens Wednesday morning, and then the closing period for that time will be Saturday evening. And then you'll receive your products the following week.
Other questions? I meant to mention that if you'd like to start a Grow Appalachia project in your area, they give grants of like 15,000, 20,000 sometimes for local groups that want to start that, and they want to move into West Virginia more. So Google Grow Appalachia, Berea College, and you'll start dreaming. As they usually will do their cycle in August. They are past their preliminary application, but it's probably not too late to apply for this year. If you get on it and get really excited, call them up. Grow Appalachia, teaching people to grow their part of their own food. Okay, anybody have something they'd like to tell about? You know, if you have a question or you have something that's happening in your area that you'd like people to know about.
I'd like to ask Sierra a quick question. I'm Melissa Cunningham with Save the Children in Calhoun County, and I heard you reference the commercial kitchen. Would that be something that we could utilize potentially for our seed saving, food preservation, self-sustainability? Oh,
Yes,
you know how that
so-
excites me.
Oh yes, no, Tina. So Tina has been hounding me too. She's like, "Is the kitchen done yet?" Because she also has some really great food access
absolutely.
projects that she has in mind. So yeah, I think it would be a great spot for doing those types of classes and workshops and that sort of thing. So that would definitely be an opportunity there.
Right. I see the link between the children and the elders and the generational
definitely.
things that would be lost, and it's very exciting. I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely make sure that you get in on the loop for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that reminds me to kind of mention that the Grow Appalachia people also give people grants to create commercial kitchens. So if you're looking for a way to do that, there's a way.
I'd just like to say that Forrest and Tess Myers are very excited about seeing Bee today. So they're very excited on the Facebook page. They love her.
Your fans are out there, Bee. Yeah, I have a question, which is, I know a lot of people are interested in high tunnels, and there's always a question of how can I get a high tunnel built in my community? I mean, Bee's been asking that. How can I get a high tunnel? Somebody help figure out how can we get a high tunnel down there in Logan?
So I could probably field that. My position is grant funded, and our unofficial title is high tunnel specialist. To kind of connect people with the resources that the NRCS offers in these cost share programs. So in order to get a high tunnel, you're in Logan County. So that means your conservation district is called the Guyan Conservation District. We have, I think, 14 around the state. So the Guyan Conservation District has a conservation specialist, and that's Corinne Powell in your region B. And how they operate is there's an application, and you submit an application. They'll come out to your farm, usually before you even apply, before you do all the paperwork. And they'll do an assessment and say, yeah, this is a good site, or this might be a better site, or have you had a garden here before, et cetera, and kind of help coach you on the best resources as far as the size of a high tunnel, et cetera, go. And then you apply, and you can apply at any time during the year, but their funding falls in a certain cycle. So they award different high tunnel cost share grants at certain times. And then you actually have to pay for and have built your high tunnel. And then the program reimburses you up to a certain percentage, and it's dependent on the applicant, how much gets reimbursed. In a lot of cases, I think it's up to 100%. So, but I can connect you directly with Corinne and the folks in her office. But yeah, there's the same story all around the state. If anybody's looking for a high tunnel, you can reach out to me, and I can connect you with the me in your area that works closely with
Well, this is a great resource. Is the conservation districts, are they part of the Department of Agriculture, or they're in?
So the NRCS, the Natural Natural Resource Conservation Service, I always get my acronyms messed up. They're a USDA organization. So they're a division of the USDA. And then the Conservation Agency is a state-run organization. They're kind of like a sister to us at the department. And they work very close together. They're oftentimes in the very same field office. So the state agency has some of its own programs and the federal agency has some of it, and they work closely together. But the USDA, the High Tunnel is a USDA program, so it's a federal program.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for somebody who's been around for a while, which I have, this program is amazingly encouraging, because I'm just constantly thinking, oh, that wasn't there 6 years ago, that wasn't there 7 years ago, and the faces were different. I can't help but notice that we got women here, and even 10 years ago that wouldn't necessarily have happened, and it's very exciting. All right, anybody else got something you'd like to tell us about, or a question? Well, I'll personally give you my thanks for taking your time today, and pass it over to Brittany to close out.
I just love experiencing these, especially because, we get to watch them after the fact on Facebook, but to have you all interact right here and ask questions and learn and collaborate and say, hey, can I use your kitchen right here on a Zoom, is exactly what really inspires me. So with that being said, we're going to hop off here. You'll be able to watch this Facebook Live after the fact if you'd like. It'll be posted to our Facebook group, Try This West Virginia. And yeah, feel free to reach out to any of the presenters today. I'm sure they'd love to hear from you. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone.